Oops. All right. Not sure what happened there.
Oh, good.
Jack, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, perfect. Welcome to another episode of JK Sports. It's your guys, Kevin Humphreys and Jack Feldman. Jack, week 7 of college football or week 6 college football. Man, uh, yeah, week 7 of college
Week 7.
football. Another great week of games. Let's start with the game that we just finished watching. BYU versus Arizona. BYU was down 24 to 14. Looked like, things were coming off the rails for them, but they come back, they force overtime, and they win. Take me through um the kind of after the rainstorm or after the delay and on.
Yeah. The biggest takeaway I had was I feel like this game was the game of runs. BYU hopped off to a 14-0 run um,
Mhm.
quickly in the first quarter. Arizona scores at the end of the first, and then the rain delay comes, and that's kind of when everything just felt weird in a
Yeah.
sense. Just because it's just not typical to have an hour and a half in between the first and second quarter. And so I feel like that was a big thing. And I think BYU um, they took it harder than Arizona did because Arizona came out, scored 10 points in the second quarter, which in turn gave them that 17-14 lead going
Right.
into halftime. And then BYU just did not look good really until the last couple drives. But even in the last couple drives, their clock management was terrible. They acted like they were chewing clock on themselves when they were down 10 for some reason.
Yep.
And it just didn't make a lot of sense at the end of the day, especially as a BYU fan. I had a lot of questions um, in in the fourth quarter for this team.
Yeah, and despite those questions, they still scored 10 unanswered, which was crazy. Given kind of the state of things. I mean, we saw Bear Bachmeyer fumble the football at the 5-yard line, and miraculously it was recovered, and not just recovered, but recovered for a first down. So nice to see, the ball bounce BYU's way. Um, this game, although it was a different sport, it definitely felt like that Tigers Mariners game because this game kicked off 5:30. We knew the rain was coming. We knew the downpour, the torrential rain. We knew that was all coming, right?
Yeah,
And then it finally ends at what, like 11:15, something like that. 11:15 Mountain Time. So this game actually was longer than start to finish than that Mariners Tigers game. So it was really a battle of mental toughness. It felt like BYU jumped early, then Arizona came out more prepared after the delay. And then, honestly, BYU just stayed in the fight. Like, there's not much more you can say than that. They had the bounces go their way. Um, they had some calls definitely not go their way. Jack, I know you were pretty heated about, a specific, play call. Take me through the Isaiah Glasgow roughing the passer.
yeah. It felt like this game as a whole was who could weather the storm better than the
Yeah.
other team. No pun intended. But
Oh, that was the
it
most
was
pun
intended. It was
intended.
intended. But this this play by Isaiah Glasgow, he sacks the quarterback, fumbles the ball. It's not an incomplete pass. He fumbles the ball. And
Mhm.
then the flag comes out in the backfield, which 90% of the time that's going to be roughing the passer. Um, Go to the monitor. It's not targeting, which in I've never seen anything like this before,
Right.
in my opinion. I mean, to
It's one of the
sack the
worst calls ever.
quarterback, to sack the quarterback, but not get the targeting penalty, but get a roughing the passer penalty, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, I
Yeah.
understand it when the ball's already gone, the ball's in the air going to the receiver, but it was a sack. And that is
Yeah.
just the craziest play to me is just the fact that he sacked the quarterback. He tackled the quarterback with the ball in his hand still,
Mhm.
and they call roughing the passer. And so
Yep.
the biggest problem I have with that is just I feel like we're protecting quarterbacks too much at this point if we're calling that.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly I just don't think there's any explanation for how bad that call was. My best bet is they called, like, they wanted to call targeting, right? Bec and I understand that, like, Glasgow went in high, it wasn't targeting, but, game happened so fast that if they need to go back and review that for targeting, 100% get it, cool with it, like, if it was targeting, for sure, but it wasn't targeting, which means there was no roughing the passer either because he had the football. So, like, why did they call roughing the passer there? I don't know why. They should have just called targeting and then went and reviewed it, and then when it wasn't targeting, BYU ends up with the football. Like, it's as simple as that. The game probably flips there. Ultimately, BYU still gets a stop on that drive, so it didn't come back to bite them, and it was Isaiah Glasgow who got that interception, so, if you believe in karma, it was definitely karma and cathartic to see that happen. But, and this game, to take you through what I was going through, this game's on one TV, like, right here, right? And then we got, Auburn, Georgia on the one right next to it, right? And you have Kirby Smart, like, you have Georgia getting away with clapping on the snap count. Hugh Freeze has lost his mind, like, 18 times in this game. Like, Kirby Smart was calling timeout, and then as he was calling timeout, told the ref that he was just clapping and didn't call the timeout. I mean, if you were watching football tonight, you saw what makes college football crazy, but also what sucks about college football is that these refs are the most clueless idiots on earth sometimes. Like, it's hard to imagine being worse at your job than the 2 officiating crews in the Georgia Auburn game were tonight and the BYU Arizona game were tonight. Like, I better see that both of these crews get some type of suspension Monday, or I'm gonna be heated because guess what? Like, there's a lot of big games next week, and my guess is that the crews we saw tonight probably gonna be on big games next week, and that's gonna suck because we're gonna show up and we're gonna know that this game isn't gonna be as good as it could be because we have some complete buffoons affecting the outcome of the games. And we can get into this with Georgia and Auburn. I think the 2 best teams ultimately won out tonight, but that was one team won with the help of the refs and one team won in spite of the refs.
Yeah, and that was another thing I wanted to go back to with the targeting and roughing the passers. Like earlier in the game, you saw Tanu Vasa come in,
Mhm.
and it was very similar type of tackle, in my opinion, where yeah, he leads with the head, he makes contact with the helmet. Both
Yeah.
tackles, I mean, you see helmet to helmet on both tackles. The one difference is the ball's halfway to the receiver with Tanu Vasa. The ball's
Yep.
still in Fafita's hand with Glasker. And
Yeah.
so that's the difference, and that's what I don't understand is how are both of those roughing the passer, um, if the guy still has the ball compared to yeah, if he doesn't have the ball, he gets knocked down, leads with the helmet, 100% good call. But stay consistent, and that's
Yep.
that's really any fan wants is just consistency. If you're gonna call something, call it every time. If you're gonna not call something, don't call it.
Right.
And it's just this double standard. And I know refing is just probably the hardest job on planet Earth. And
Much
you
harder than
just
podcasting.
you just no matter what you do, someone's mad at you and someone's praising you.
Mhm.
And so like that's just what you have to do as a ref is just consistency. So if you have consistency as a ref, you can't be mad at that because you
Right.
know what you're coming into, you know what they're going to call, and then whoever adapts to that the best, they're going to be more favored in the game. But and then I mean that's what you see with Kirby Smart a lot of the time is he knows these guys, he knows what they're going to call, he knows how to help his position best, and that's why you see that Georgia is a very successful program along with the talent and the coaching that they have.
Yeah. But I'm going to be 100% honest. I think the officials had it in the bag for Georgia tonight. I think Greg
Mhm.
Sankey made some calls and said, there's no way we can let Georgia be 4-2 this early in the season. Like we have the I I've been on this for most of the season, if not all the season. I think Georgia's like a pretty mid SEC team. Like I don't think they're a playoff team. I don't really think they're a contender. Kind of slot them in with LSU as like teams we thought that would be good this year. But just really haven't shown us anything. Like nothing. Like I mean, credit to Georgia, they got out of there with the win. It felt like they had, the help of the SEC tonight. Um, Here a couple notes from this game, and honestly, like it was just such a bad game, Jack, that this is what I wrote down for the Georgia Auburn game. I wrote refs number one, Jackson Arnold stinks number two, and Gunnar Stockton stinks but is less bad than Jackson Arnold. And that was my takeaway from this game. Just a
Solid takeaway.
it was a brutal watch. Like I mean, not that I was expecting anything sexy from Auburn because they're the least sexy team in the country, but
Yeah,
I
and I
am.
mean, the craziest thing to me was that second half from that Georgia defense. I mean, they gave up what, like 20 yards
Yeah.
to a team that seemed to be doing whatever they really wanted in the first
Oh,
half.
yeah.
And so that second half adjustment was just
Yeah.
amazing to me. They had like -1 yards rushing, 19
Mhm.
yards passing or whatever it was until that last drive where they're just hucking it.
Yeah.
But that was the biggest takeaway I had was the in-game adjustments for Georgia just outweighs any other team that they're going to face this year, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree, like, Kirby Smart 100% has the coaching advantage in most of the
Right.
games that he plays going forward, like, you saw him out coach Heupel against Tennessee. Honestly
Mhm.
thought the only reason they won that game is because of Kirby, like and obviously Gunnar Stockton had the beautiful ball to tie the game, but, like, overall, Kirby Smart teams are just better coached, and, he coaches better unless it's Alabama, then he turns into a pumpkin.
That
That
is true.
those games just don't count according to Kirby.
They don't.
They're just games to Kirby, I guess, for some reason. But, like, yeah, Hugh Freeze, they Hugh Freeze, I just don't understand what Hugh Freeze is doing, like, you had a chance to go out and get transfer portal quarterback this offseason, and the best you could come up with was Jackson Arnold. Man, talk about I mean, this you and they're a good football team. Like, you look at their offensive line, their defensive line,
Mhm.
like, they were up 10-0. They should have been up 17-0. That's part of what I was talking about in the officiating. 15 minutes of reviews, 27 seconds of plays. Jackson Arnold is a good runner. I'll give him that. He's a good runner of the football. He got into the end zone. The refs completely jobbed Auburn. The game completely flipped there. Auburn might we might be talking about Auburn winning by double digits if
Mhm.
that play goes their way, but it didn't, and it just unraveled. Jackson Arnold fell apart. Hugh Freeze fell apart. Like it's brutal to be an Auburn fan. Maybe they'll go out and get like James Franklin or someone to come be their head coach next season. Jack, it was a game it was a game that I did not watch a single snap of because I just assumed like, okay, Penn State surely is going to take care of business, but they didn't. They lost to Northwestern. and I'm being honest, didn't watch a single snap because like, I just assumed that, Penn State wasn't that bad, but guess what? They are. Like, what do you do if you're Penn State now? 3-3. Your starting quarterback's out for the season. James Franklin dead. Like, just what do you do?
That again, I mean, we talked about it last week. This Penn State upset again is just the most shocking thing, and I didn't think that we would be talking about this again because last week was the most shocking upset I've seen in a very long time, and this is going to be the second most shocking upset that I've seen in a long time.
Right.
Um, and I honestly think it all comes back to the quarterback play. I mean, Drew
Yeah.
Alar is not the quarterback everyone thought he was going to be.
Mhm.
Um, his he's always struggled with accuracy, and that showed again today.
Yeah.
Um, and so I am curious to see what this team looks like with the backup quarterback coming in now that Alar's out for the season. And this is kind of like a restart button. If you're a Penn State fan, you honestly are probably grateful that Alar got hurt because now you have an excuse to stink this year. You can say, "Oh, our quarterback got hurt." And so, yeah, we're not supposed to win any more games. We're not supposed to beat Ohio State. We're not supposed to beat Oregon. We're not supposed to beat these top teams because our star quarterback got hurt. And so that's kind of the silver lining in this whole mess of Penn State, in my opinion, is yeah, you never want to see someone go down for the season, but at the same time, like now it gives you an excuse to start saying, "Oh yeah, we lost to Northwestern because our guy got hurt in the fourth quarter," you know?
Yeah. But, like,
But just
it
nice.
that yeah. I mean, it's just tough. I think Drew Aller's been put in an impossible situation. Franklin has just not been able to coach offense his entire time at Penn State. Like, if we're being honest, I think it goes above Aller. He's just a product of bad development. Penn State has not developed, like, talented QBs. Like, Trace McSorley was a dog, but, hasn't really had an NFL career to speak of. Like, Hamler is the last Penn State receiver I can remember being a guy. That was, like, 2020. They haven't had a single
Mhm.
guy. Tyler Warren was their entire offense last year. They lost him. Now look at them. Bad. They Singleton and their other running back, Allen,
Allen.
I think. Yeah. They were supposed to be good, but I mean, they definitely have not looked the part. Like, everything has fallen apart for Penn State. Um like, with Penn State, like, Franklin still has a $50 million buyout, but, like, if you're him and it's gone this south, like, you have to be looking to get out because it's so toxic now. The like, your knees have been taken out underneath you completely. Like, I don't see there being any way that Penn State can rebound and James Franklin can rebound. Um, but thankfully, we know what to expect for the rest of the season. Anytime Penn State's losing, we just accept it, that they're just a
Mhm.
bad football team. Like, this is no longer a surprise to us. They died in overtime against Oregon, and they just won't be the same team again. Now,
Mhm.
speaking of teams that upset Penn State, Jack, UCLA, and, Jerry Neuheisel.
They look good.
Jack, I think Jerry Neuheisel might be the best coach in college football.
Dude,
Honestly, he they were terrible. They were horrible for 4 weeks. Never led for a snap. And the last 2 weeks, start to finish, thorough butt kicking. I can't there's no way to explain why other than just that good-looking guy with a great head of hair looks honestly looks younger than me. He's not, but he looks like he's younger than me. Dude can just call plays, man. Like that was really fun to see. I don't have any analysis on that game other than Jerry Neuheisel is sorry, not sure what's happened to my camera right now.
No, you're all good. But yeah, I mean, that was my biggest takeaway for UCLA too. I mean, this guy, he looks like an intern, but he is just in his bag right now, making UCLA look like the best offense in the nation. And so I'm excited to see what UCLA brings for the rest of the season because I mean, you have a team that goes 0 and 4, just looks absolutely awful for 4 straight weeks. They just do not look good. And then they come out, beat Penn State. They go out, beat Michigan State by 25. I mean, this team is just it's just fun. It's just fun to watch, and it's just the classic American underdog story of your team stinks, you bring in a guy that looks like your average person, and then you start succeeding. And so I think UCLA is going to be America's team this year. If they can pull out some upsets and make some fun games, I think it's going to be a lot of fun for a lot of viewers.
Yeah, 100%. I'm excited to see what UCLA does from here. But Jack, let's move to some of the bigger games that happened today. We had Red River, we had Oregon, Indiana. Um, both. Well, I guess Texas technically was favored. I think I can't remember. That line went everywhere
It
from
was.
Oklahoma to Texas, back and forth. Um, Texas won, Indiana won. Which win stood out more to you?
I think the Indiana one did.
Yeah.
And just because I'm trying my hardest to not worry about the number in front of anyone's name
Mhm.
anymore. Because honestly, the Texas AP poll was probably an over exaggeration. Um,
Mhm.
but again, I'm not trying to worry about that AP poll. And so I thought Oregon was the easy top three team in the nation. Because I said it was Ohio State, Miami, and Oregon, and then it was everyone else.
I think that was
And
consensus from
right,
everyone.
right. And then we see Indiana go in and beat them, and now you got to respect Indiana. And I had zero respect for Indiana because I thought they were just going to be that one hit wonder. They had a great season last year, but that's kind of it. They got ranked because they were good last year. So what? But they went into Oregon, they beat them. They look good doing it too. And so for me, that Indiana team is dangerous.
Uh, I mean, I never took them I took them seriously as a playoff team this year just because if you made it last year and you returned most of your players and you supposedly improve at quarterback, I wasn't sure about that. I wasn't sure they were actually improving at quarterback, but they did.
Mhm.
Mendoza, really stinking good. And the most shocking thing about this game was like lines of scrimmage, we thought that Oregon was like, top 3 in the country. Indiana held their own. They were not getting beat up front, offense or defense. Like, Oregon wasn't able to dominate the line of scrimmage on offense. It really affected Dante Moore, who looked as human as he's looked all season. Um, like, defensively, they were able to handle Oregon's defensive line. That part really stood out to me because I thought, like, Cignetti, great coach, like, I don't like him, but he is a great coach. I can't argue with the facts. The facts are that he's a great coach. Don't like the guy, but can respect that he's a good coach. But like they looked like they could be any team in the country. And for him to flip Indiana, one of the worst teams in the Big Ten, into I think we can say the second best team in the Big
Mhm.
Ten right now is Indiana. They
Mhm.
don't have another ranked team for the rest of the season. They play Maryland, who's in a dogfight with Nebraska today, and, I believe they have one other, capable opponent, but, like, they dog walked Illinois, who I still respect a lot. They gave it to Oregon. They controlled the game
Mhm.
from start to finish. Outside of the pick six in the second half, Oregon did nothing. They did
Mhm.
nothing in the second half outside of the pick six. Um, so yeah, Indiana's the clear winner for me today. Like they went
Mhm.
from not just like a playoff team, they went from a team that with Mendoza, with Signetti, like they look like a team that can legitimately win a national championship. And I did not think I would be sitting here saying that a week ago, 4 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago. Never in my life, never in Indiana fans' lives did they ever think that they could realistically say we look like we could win a national championship, but they sure did today.
Who would have thought the basketball schools are starting to play some football, and we're all for it. We're all for it.
Yeah.
But, you went back to more looking like a human. Another person that looked very humanized today was Mateer, and I know you're pretty high on him. You think he's a wonderful quarterback, but what'd you think of him today?
Um, I don't know, like, I don't know if the hand, like, it's his throwing hand that he had
Mhm.
surgery on. I don't know if it was just that, but some of the passes he threw, I don't know if he was just uncomfortable. I can't explain it. He looked so rushed and flustered and scared today. They still ran him a lot. Not really sure like to what extent we can put the injury on him. And my thing is with everyone, unless I can visibly see you like not able to hold on to a football or like not able to walk straight, like if you're clearly limping, if I don't see that, I just assume you're 100% healthy and I have to grade you as such. He was bad. Like he had the pick six. It was 13-6. They were driving. Um Easily could have tied the game up there, but he throws a pick six. That changed the game. He throws away 3 points at halftime with another interception that was just really strange. Typically, like Oklahoma's defense is one of the best in the country, and you thought that, even with a hampered Mateer, he was gonna look better than Arch Manning, and Arch Manning looked like a competent quarterback. He was the more competent quarterback this game, which really shocked me because I thought Oklahoma's defense, one, was better than Texas's, and I thought Oklahoma's offense was better than Texas's, but it wasn't. Like, just and I'm not throwing all the Mateer stock out the window, right? But it definitely made me take a step back, and it's like, okay, Oklahoma might not be, what were they ranked coming into today? 5,
6th.
6,
6th.
6? Didn't think they were the 6th best team in the country. I've never thought that, but I have believed that Mateer could carry them well above, their abilities, but they came down to earth today.
Mhm. They definitely did, and, I did wanna semi apologize for Arch Manning. Um, Maybe we were a little harsh on that train, but that all comes with the pre expectations that everyone has
Right.
for a guy. So I mean, he hasn't lived up to the expectations that everyone has him on, but they also those expectations was be Peyton Manning essentially
Yeah.
with legs, and so that that's I mean no matter what type of timeline you're at in your career, that is some hefty expectations to have, especially as a first time starter this season. So, but he looked good, 21 of 27, 166 yards, but he made plays and he got the team
Yeah.
the win, which was much needed in this Texas team, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, he did what he needed to do. He kept drives alive, which is the most important part as a quarterback. As someone who's cheered for Michigan over my lifetime, they've never been sexy, but they've had quarterbacks that keep drives alive and the quarterbacks that do that win you ball games. So Texas to me, like I think we might have written them off a little too quickly. We'll see, we'll see. Their offensive line still is not great. Like Arch was still scrambling for his life a lot of times. He was able to make plays today. But yeah, like just a crazy day of college football, Jack. I don't think there's much more we can do to say that. A couple quick games that I just wanna to hit real quick before we um close out with a couple really fun games to talk about. Tennessee versus Arkansas. Tennessee was up 34-17. Then they did the Tennessee thing where they let the team get back into it, but that was good. Texas A&M, honestly, like I am the Alabama. I'm Roll Tide, baby. That's me. But Texas A&M continues to look like the best team in the SEC. Um, Ole Miss, Washington State. Ole Miss
That
won
was nuts.
24-21. They were down 14-10 in the second half. Like, Ole Miss, are you okay? Like, I understand like looking ahead because you have two ranked teams coming up, but like you still should be
That's
able
scary.
to do better
That's
than that,
scary.
right? Ohio
Yep.
State dominated Illinois. Something that we kind of thought would happen. It's impossible to score against that defense in the red zone. It just is. Like,
Ohio
uh,
State is the best team in the nation, and I don't think it's that close. Other than Miami.
mhm,
Miami is very good, but I think Ohio State. I think those two teams are far and away the best two teams. Um,
mhm,
and they just get it done. Ohio State just
yeah,
finds a way every time, and they win in different ways. They don't have to win in one specific way. And I know it pains you to say it, pains you to hear it, but Ohio State is a very, very good football team this year, and
they're
I just
better than
love.
last year.
Mhm. And I love the fact that like you have the best receiving core in the nation, but you don't
Mhm,
have to give them the ball every single game to win games, you know?
right,
And so it's it's fun to watch a top team win in multiple different ways and know that they
yeah,
can win in multiple different ways.
yeah. I mean, offensively, they have 13 games to figure it out on offense, and they might go 13-0 because their defense is so good.
Mhm, mhm.
And so they're just a fantastic football team top to bottom. Pittsburgh beat Florida State. Every time Florida State plays, we wonder how in the world they looked that good against Alabama. I've already given my explanation as to, perfect storm, like new coordinators on both sides of the football. So Alabama like had no tape to go off of, right? That's kind of my explanation for it. Obviously, you had the emotions of like Florida State wanting revenge for not making the playoffs 2 years ago. Ty Simpson's first start, he had to kind of shake off the cobwebs. It was the perfect storm, but man, Florida State's defense is just bad now. Like since Alabama, they've been nothing but bad. Um, and they're probably going to be like a 7-8 win football team. And they're probably going to beat a team that I believe, especially after today, we'll get to that in a minute. A team that I think is going to be in the SEC championship game. Couple more games. LSU, South Carolina. LSU. It was kind of tight, but it always felt like LSU was going to win. Nussmeyer actually looked like he could get some zip on the football today, so that was good. Um, and then let's see, Jack, my Tide, man, roll Tide, baby. They got it done in Missouri. They were up 27-17, and I was feeling real good. Like, let's go. Like SEC championship, here we come. But Missouri fought back, made it a game. Like Alabama, like if anyone expects Alabama to be the Bama of old, they're wrong. But can they still be a good Bama team that wins close football games because they have the best quarterback in the country, Jack?
Yeah, Alabama is a really good football team.
Yeah.
Um, they were. it comes down to, honestly, if a quarterback can make a read, um, because he had that guy wide open, but he threw the pick instead. And
Yeah.
so I wanted to see that completion happen to see what happened the rest of the game.
Mhm.
But like any
Yeah,
college,
Purdue was not good today,
right?
straight up.
But I mean, just like any other college institution, any other team in the nation, I mean, you're gonna have bounces go your way to win games, and that's what
Yep.
Alabama needed to do. They definitely won this game. They
Mhm.
found a way to win, and you love to see it because this was the biggest question: is Alabama going to be able to have that clutch gene and be able to win in a super tight game? We need a stop here. Can we get it done? And that's what they showed today.
Yeah, you know, we saw Caden Proctor get the football
Hmm.
again. That was super exciting. I wish every team put a 6'6", 350-pound offensive
It's
lineman in the
fun.
backfield to run the Wildcat. That would be electric.
It is.
Um, but the best throw I've seen this season was Ty Simpson's 4th and 9 throw. That honestly, in my opinion, won them the game. Where gets a snap, drifts to his left, puts it on the money, to I can't remember. I think it was Horton, but I can't remember off the top of my head. It was the best throw I've seen all season. He's been making throws like that this entire
Mhm.
season. So I guess to end it, Jack, my Heisman is Ty Simpson right now. He's the best quarterback in the country. There hasn't been a running back or receiver that's like putting up gaudy numbers. It's never going to go to a guy on defense. I mean, maybe Caleb Downs, but like do you have anyone outside of Simpson that do you think can really touch him right now? There's still a lot of season left. I'm the doors Ty Simpson has not won it. I'm just saying he's by
Mhm.
far the front runner right now, especially after the last few weeks of football.
Right. The only other thing that really comes to mind is Carson Beck.
Okay.
I
Yes.
I I do like Carson Beck a lot, and that whole Miami offense is just
Yes.
loaded. And so I think Carson Beck is building a big case for himself. But other than that, I mean, Mendoza, it's going to be
Okay.
quarterback this year.
Yeah.
It's either I think going back, my just to be different from you, and I just really like this Indiana team and what their offense is doing.
Okay.
I'll probably pick Mendoza as the favorite for now.
Okay. I think he's probably QB1. Like if
Hmm.
you're an NFL fan, like he kind of feels
Right,
like QB1 right
for
now.
sure.
Maybe Carson Beck plays his way back into it. The th the thing I have with Heisman is, Indiana, they don't play Ohio State or Michigan, I
Right.
think, for the rest of the season. So, they're not gonna be, they're gonna be playing a lot of games on Big Ten Network, and
Yeah.
I don't know
They
if
don't
you
have any
w
flashy. They
Right.
don't have any flashy games anymore, other than this
I don't
Oregon game.
Yeah, I don't know if you win the Heisman playing on the Big Ten Network,
That's fair.
but Carson or and here's the thing with Carson Beck too is they don't play another ranked team
Mm,
for the rest
right.
of the season either. So Ty Simpson definitely, in my opinion, has the advantage just because he's going to be playing in all these marquee games for the rest of the season. By no
Right.
means does that mean he's going to win it. It's just kind of me projecting right now, which is, I mean, I haven't looked, but I'm sure after today he's probably the betting favorite with Oregon losing.
Mm, yeah.
Maybe Mendoza's betting favorite. Um, Jack, I almost pulled a fast one on you, but dunk on me for being a Michigan fan, and then let's get out of here.
I was gonna bring it up regardless,
Okay, okay.
but yeah, they did not look good in the
No,
slightest against a
no.
USC team that is good. They have a really good offense.
I think they're the
Solid.
4th best team
Mhm.
in the Big Ten. Even though they lost to Illinois, I think they're the 4th best team.
Yeah, and Lemon, the receivers, as good
So
as it
good.
gets. As good as it gets
So
at that
good.
position. They got a really good running back. I mean, 18 carries for 160 today. Like, that is
That's
nuts.
bad
Yep.
defense.
And then their quarterback played 25 of 32 for 265. I mean, they just really did whatever they wanted on this offensive side of the ball.
They did.
And then, I mean, you made a freshman quarterback look like a freshman quarterback.
Yeah.
Still played really well, but um, put up 13 points, went 15 of
Yeah.
24. I mean, I don't really know what else to say, but I mean, I don't think the score tells the whole story. I think this game was a lot more out of hand than
It
an
was.
18-point game or whatever it was.
Oh, USC dominated both lines of scrimmage. It was a
Yep.
disaster. That's net like Michigan doesn't get dominated on lines of scrimmage like they
Right.
did today, especially to a soft UCLA USC team. Like, and here's the thing with Bryce Underwood, they bought a Ferrari and they just put flat tires on the Ferrari.
Mhm.
They have no wide receivers. I mean, the number one, can't remember his name right now. It's late. We're very tired. Like, he's good. Other than that, they all suck. They should all not see the field
Is
again
that is it
next
Marsh?
season. No, other guy. Marsh is
Other guy?
Marsh is bad. Yeah. Um,
I don't
they're
remember
so
the other
bad,
guy.
Jack.
Yeah.
They're so bad. It's the Sharon Moore era is over. Hopefully Bryce's deal is concrete and he has to stay and he can't just transfer. But we'll see.
Right.
Um,
No.
all right. We've been going for 40 minutes. We'll see you guys next time. Have a great weekend of watching NFL football tomorrow.